At noon today, the legislature will go back into session, a special session called by Governor Earl Ray Tomblin, and already the Senate President, Bill Cole, was saying that the budget proposal by the governor is a non-starter, too many taxes and not enough cuts. The governor is proposing a tax on telecommunications, which is your internet and cell phone. He's also proposing that tax on cigarettes, which I think everybody is pretty much in agreement with, or at least the majority of folks. But not any substantial taxes. We have a shrinking state population. We were at one time at 2.2 million. Now we're down below 1.8 million people. We're going to lose a congressional seat here in a couple of years, but we still have a budget that really does play to that 2.2 million people. Joining me on the phone to talk a little bit about this special session that starts today at noon is State Senator Kent Leonhardt. Senator Leonhardt, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, I appreciate you taking time to be with us, Senator. Listen, these are some pretty tough times in the state. Can we tax our way out of this budget crisis?
No, we can't tax our way out of this budget crisis. I mean, where's it going to come from? I mean, the people of West Virginia are already hurting. So what are we going to do? Take it out of the pockets of the people that are already hurting?
Well, I mean that's
a non-starter.
Well, and that's what the governor is proposing. I mean, and he didn't propose it on a temporary basis. The governor's saying he wants that 1% sales tax. It'd be all right if it was just to kind of get things going until you got these cuts put into place. But are there any cuts being proposed at all that you know of?
Well, I mean, the governor's talking about things, and it's all over the headlines and everything else like that. But let's be realistic here. The legislature approves the budget and gives the governor a budget, but the governor and those Board of Public Works offices are the ones that execute that budget, and they're the ones responsible for being fiscally responsible.
Right.
It's the governor that decides where to cut within his administration. It's not the legislature that decides where to cut. And they're out there trying to blame this state legislature for failing to do this and failing to do that. Well, you know what? If you don't have a plan and you can't fall back on your past accomplishments, you attack the new guys.
Well, and that's one of the things that tickled me the most. Delegate Miley is the minority leader in the House, and he posts on his Facebook page. He keeps sending a letter to Bill Cole and Tim Arnold. Where's your plan? Where's your plan? Where's your plan? When the Democrats were in charge, they forced the governor to prepare a budget that included what his government was going to look like, his administration was going to look like. The last thing you want is for the legislature to be telling the governor how to run his administration. But now all of a sudden, I guess it's popular now that Miley's in the minority, huh?
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. That's one of the reasons I'm running for a state office, because you can't legislate good government. You just can't do it. I mean, this has been an 83-year battle of downturn in state government, and now they want to turn an aircraft carrier on a dime. It doesn't happen. We've only been in the majority in the legislature for one session, but 2 years, and you can't expect 83 years of downturn to be turned in that short period of time. But we'll get there. I mean, there's some good people, but we definitely need to change of administration. I mean, you look at the people that are running for office. The Republican Party right now has a tremendous cast of people that are on that Board of Public Works that can really make a difference. You take Jim Justice, and he's out there talking about a smaller government, and Earl Ray Tomblin saying, no, we can't have a smaller government. We can't take any more cuts. We got to raise taxes. Yet they're supporting each other, which it doesn't make any sense, does it, folks?
Well, it doesn't. No, well, and with Justice out there supporting Hillary Clinton and pushing, I don't see how that works. With there's no plan. But if Justice says we need a smaller state government, why isn't he communicating that to the current governor, who's also a Democrat, and say, listen, Governor, here's what I would do if I was and by the way, Senator, you'll appreciate this. I've been trying to reach out to Larry Puccio, who is the campaign manager for Mr. Justice, to try to get him on the show during this special session to say, okay, act like you're governor now, Mr. Justice. What would you cut? Where would you cut, or what taxes would you raise? because it's gone far beyond a 45-cent in tax on tobacco. I mean, it's a $250 million tax package that the governor's asking the legislature to consider.
That's right, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No,
I mean, they're talking, and Larry Puccio was one of the guys that brought us to the problem.
Well, and
let's take PEIA. On the last day of session, the Republicans had a budget fully funding PEIA, Promise Scholarship, all those things that they're talking about right now. It was fully funded in that budget, and at the last hour, the governor says, "Oh, we got another $92 million shortfall." Well, wait a minute. You can't tell. You're going to tell me that on the last day and the last hour is when you just figured this out? That should have been figured out a long time ago.
Well, that's right. And listen, I understand that it's kind of hard to predict how substantial the decline of the coal industry is going to be. But this $250 million that the legislature is being asked to increase taxes, that's $250 million that comes out of our economy. That's $250 million that isn't spent in stores and retail, vacations. It's $250 million that the government wants to operate the government that comes out of people's pockets. Now, it may only cost folks, families, $100, $150, $200 a year, but that's money that would be normally would go somewhere else into some local business or a farmer's market or to help buy a new car.
That's right. I mean, we are seeing when they first came out with the budget decline from last year, from the 2016 fiscal year budget, they didn't calculate that. Remember, it first came out, well, we're going to be $352 million short, and they didn't calculate the trickle-down effect of that.
Right.
Well, now we have to calculate the trickle-down effect of the $250 million, just like you said, coming out. I mean, dollars turned, what do they say, $5 to $7 turns within the state. So if we take that $250 million, there's another $1.25 million.
Oh yeah,
$1 billion that maybe that we're going to be hurting even more. We can't do that.
Senator, I know you guys go into session today at noon. I hope you keep us posted. Maybe give us a call here in the next couple of days to let us know what's happening. We appreciate you spending time with us today.
I appreciate you having me on, Mike, and look forward to talking to you. And I'll try to get hold of you later in the week.